because I told Tommy I'd be at Cambridge by 3 o'clock.
Yeah, but that's
here at 2 o'clock.
That's what I mean. We don't have a lot of time. Today we are going to look at the engine finally. It is something that we have had on our list, on our brains all winter. But we have to take the stairs off because that's where our engine is, and get the heater pointed at it. So we have a list that we've compiled of things that we can troubleshoot and look at to see if replacing this part or bleeding this line will change anything. I'm gonna let Chris just quickly explain what happened last summer.
Last July, when we were doing our sailing to the Thousand Islands, we didn't quite make it. We made it to the Bay of Quinte, ran out of time and had to turn around. On our way back, we ended up in Pickering, a place called Frenchman's Bay Yacht Club. We were warming up the engine, and then it all of a sudden died. First thing we did was look at the fuel, and we have an electric pump that assists the lift pump, I believe, and that was hot and overheated. No fuel was getting past that point, so I removed that and it worked. We replaced it with one that we found at Napa. That one too was getting too hot, so we used it intermittently. Like, we plugged it in, we unplugged it, we plugged it in, we unplugged it, so that just to limp back home, we so that would get fuel up to the engine, and the pumps on the engine would get it through, and then the electric pump wouldn't overheat. Again, not diesel mechanics, but we're gonna learn.
The heater has been on that now for probably 30-40 minutes. We just went and got coffees, had a little coffee break in the cockpit. So now, Christopher, what are we doing next?
Start the engine, I think.
Are we ready for that step?
Well, I gotta turn on the seacock, and then yeah, I should just start right up.
Okay. I'm nervous.
No, it's too early. I need to put this in. This is, I think, the fuse for that pump.
Okay. Big moment coming up. You don't want to hold it more than 30 seconds, right? That's
more
what.
than 15 seconds is what the one thing said. Down in a second.
So he just turned the water off, the water intake off, because you don't want to water lock it. This goes on for a while, so let's skip ahead. You can do it! Yeah! Yeah!
Can you turn on the water? Don't die. It always dies a couple times, but that was started.
Okay. Yeah.
It touched something hot.
And melted? Yeah, you really don't want to be testing that in an emergency and then have it have a hole in it.
This is our manual build hose mounted to our exhaust. Unfortunate.
There's not a lot of space to run these things on a small boat, so stuff often touches, so we have to figure out better channels for hoses and stuff, and wiring. That is not good. Not good.
And now, the moment we've all been waiting for.
Despite Ontario, Canada experiencing a milder winter this year, we're eager to transform from a bubble boat tethered to the dock back into a sailboat on the open water. With only a few weeks left before we must vacate our winter slip, our destination remains uncertain. We haven't secured a seasonal dock, anticipating that we'll set sail on our journey as soon as possible. Don't fall backwards. It is now hailing. Perfect timing to take off the plastic. I thought about cleaning up the cockpit before I filmed, but the reality of our situation right now is that it's a mess right now. So it is a week from now that we have to get out of our slip. We didn't have a place to go, and we weren't sure if we were going to be able to haul out, because our knowledge up to that point was that they were fully booked until the end of May for haul out, or for launch, and so therefore they didn't have any room or time to haul us out. That has changed, or at least there's a little space now available. I called yesterday and now we actually do have a spot to haul out for a month, which means that we will be doing the boat work that we were going to put off until we got down to the Caribbean. Even though it's a month is not actually that long when it comes to some of these things, especially this time of year, because we can't always be guaranteed that the weather is going to cooperate. It might rain, it might be cold, it might snow. It's April in Canada. So pretty exciting. I say that all the time. I am very excited. Yesterday was the eclipse. That was super cool. And we had clouds all day, but they parted just like minutes before the eclipse came. And I take that as a pretty good omen about this year. So yeah. Cheers. Pretty excited.
Good morning. I am going to try to finish up what I was doing with the fuel line here. I installed this low pressure pump here as a lift pump. This takes it from the tank up to the fuel separator, and then from the fuel separator it goes around the engine to this little thing down here. Can't really see it. That is the mechanical lift pump. So diesels shouldn't need an electric lift pump. It's all mechanical. This I don't think is working properly. I don't think it's ever worked properly. That's why the old owner had installed one, an electrical one. The old system and the system right now is following that same route. It just forces it through the mechanical pump, and then it goes up to this filter here, and then down to the high pressure pump, and then over to the injectors, these two injectors, and then from the injectors it drains back to the fuel filter, and then goes around and around. So this pump was working well the other day. It didn't overheat, it just got warm. So I think that's going to be an okay solution for now. The only other thing I wanted to do was I want to bypass this mechanical pump altogether. I want from the water separator, from that point there, I want it to go straight to this filter without having that mechanical pump in the way, because if that diaphragm is leaking, then I'm either going to be pumping fuel into the oil, or oil is going to be getting into the fuel, and I want to avoid that variable altogether.
The date we were required to leave the dock was fast approaching. Thankfully, our buddy Bruce was a huge help with the final engine tune-ups.
And then tighten it back.
Oh yeah, okay, there was some air there, hang on. Yeah, see that?
And air, get out of there.
Yeah.
It's not good for the engine?
Well, it won't help it start though.
It likes air, but...
I thought we were a wind-powered vessel.
Yeah.
Now that the mast was up, we were all ready to set sail to the haul-out docks in just a few days. But it turns out I had spoken too soon about things going smoothly. Our furler's tracks aren't lined up perfectly at the top, I think, so the furler won't go all the way up. Whatever that piece is won't go all the way up to the top. We tried to test it. We were putting it up with the sail on it first, but now we're trying it without, and we got it maybe halfway up, and the track, it just won't go past that point. So now I think Christopher is going up in the chair, maybe, to see if we can get it to go.
3 of the 4 screws. It's just one screw on the one side, so the track was like this. You never get it back. Yeah. Exactly. Don't let it do the whole.
But the spreaders carry some of the load. And
Oh, that's the one that got stuck on. No, it was twisted around to the side. Mark just straightened it. Our final task completed, we were ready to go. But we weren't ready to haul out just yet.
camera started.
Okay.
I'm holding it.
But I would say we're sailing. Thanks, well. Good job rigging that foresail.
It's not quite Victoria, I think.
Looks okay to me. Is it just because it didn't finish unwinding at the drum?
Yeah, remember we moved it down?
Yeah.
It shouldn't be down that low.
We're the only ones out here, right?
It's nice.
Get the whole bay to ourselves. And this is the side that catches. It's already found.
It's not ideal. Dun, da, da, dun, da, woo! Little lifty lift. Some of you may recognize our highly frequented anchorage, Carroll's Cove. We decided we wanted at least one night of freedom from dock and shore life before hauling out and becoming landlubbers for a month. You'll see it in about 2 seconds. 17 feet. Okay. How are you feeling about your first anchorage of 2024?
Yeah, we're probably the second ones to anchor in this harbor.
Yeah, as far as we know.
A week ago.
Yeah.
I got nothing to worry about when you're by my side. I got nothing to worry about when you're by my side. I looked out and I saw the rain.
It felt great to be back at anchor, but we still have a long way to go before this becomes our new normal. Stay tuned for the next episode as we start our life on the hard and begin tackling our long list of grueling boat projects. We're moving more now than we did all winter. Thanks for watching, sail fans.